What is up, guys? Emmanuel Jones, and we back at it with Week 14 predictions. So last week I went 9-4, which I did pretty good, and my overall record is 114-64. So yeah, and then you got the Cardinals and Commanders on a bye week this week, and we already know those are teams that already played. You know, early this season. So, we're going to get things started here. Before I give you my predictions for week 14, don't forget to put a thumbs up to like video, subscribe to my channel for more options, and don't forget to comment down your opinion below to see who you got winning week 14. So, yeah, we're going to get things started. Uh, I chose the Steelers to win 16-13, and they lost 21-18. So let's get started with the rest of the games. So we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta is Atlanta's favorite by 2.5. Obviously, this game can definitely go either way. Now, this could definitely be some of these teams that could definitely be fighting for the 1 seed. Now, I was almost calling it a trap game for some minute because one person might pick the Bucks to win because the Bucks got a better receiving core. In the Falcons receiving core, outside of Drake London isn't good. But I just kind of really feel like that, that when I look at the Bucks, they're offensively they're really good in general, and they're really good at moving the ball. And Todd Bowles' defense has been doing pretty good at the time blitzing, but their pass defense has been an issue, especially their run defense as well has been an issue as well. But same thing with Atlanta. Atlanta, with their defense, it's pretty much underrated. And their offense is pretty much underrated as well. And Desmond Ritter's been playing lights out really good. So this could definitely come to first place in the division. Now, if Tampa Bay wins this game, then Atlanta will be 6-7 as well. They'll both be 6-7. Even if the Saints beat Carolina, they'll both be 6-7, and they'll both be fighting for first place in the division. But I could have a feeling that I think Tampa Bay can win this game. But I think Atlanta is going to win this game at home in the Dome because I just think Atlanta kind of has more to play for. And Tampa Bay looks like they could be on decline. They may not have much to play for because they may not make the playoffs, though. But I feel like even if they beat the Falcons, I think they have a chance to get first place in the division, depending if they win out or not. So yeah, I mean Atlanta's like leading the division right now because we know their NFC South is very weak, and we know the Panthers are the worst team in the league. So yeah, so I just like Atlanta winning this game because they're at home, and I just really think they just have the better defense, and they'll find a way to do enough against the Bucks offense that has been not so good. I think they'll find a way to at least contain Baker Mayfield because sometimes he's not good against good defenses. And I think the Falcons corners can do enough to cover Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. And I think that, that can force Baker Mayfield to throw the ball somewhere else and maybe throw the ball like out of bounds or like get sacked or like step out of bounds, something like that. So yeah, I mean last time when these two teams played, I think the Bucks kind of played really well though. But you know what? I think Atlanta and Bucks should have won. But I think Atlanta is going to find a way to pull it out with the win here. But give me the 2.5 points with the Buccaneers. I think the Bucks are going to keep it close. Something like 16 to like 17, something like that. 17-16 or like 24-23, something like that. So yeah. I'm going to take the Bucks to plus the points, but I'll take the Falcons to win the game. Next game, we have the Detroit Lions versus the Chicago Bears. The Lions are now favored by -3. Obviously, I could definitely see this game going either way. Now, last time when these two teams played, the Bears, they should have at least beaten the Lions, though. Like, they should have had. Because you know why? Because, the Bears, they were looking so good almost the whole game until all of a sudden, in the fourth quarter, they nearly blew it. And Matt Eberflus kind of had problems with the clock management. But I think that when I look at the Bears, their defense is really not as bad as you think. I mean, Montez Sweat's looking good, and then Jalen Johnson's really good. I mean, this defense of the Bears is pretty much an underrated unit. I mean, this defense of the Bears, and then you got Brisker, and then you got Eddie Jackson, then Stevenson, TJ, and then they have a good linebacking core in Tremaine Edmonds and Edwards and Zach Pickens. I mean, this defense of the Bears is pretty much underrated. Like, it's not as bad as you think. I mean, they're starting to improve. So I like the Bears right here with the points, but I could definitely see them win at home because Jared Goff is pretty much struggles outdoors. But the concerning part is about the Lions is their defense, which is their pass defense has been an issue for over the past couple weeks. But their run defense has been really good so far. So I like the Bears to keep it close here. I think offensively they're going to move the ball. DJ Moore's probably going to get wide open. And most of it, I mean, Justin Fields might have a day. But I'm going to take the Lions here because I just think the Bears may not have much to play for. They could be playing for next year. Who knows? I mean, the Bears, they're not going to even make the playoffs this year because they have no chance at the playoffs, so they have a lower percent chance to make the playoffs. And the Lions, they're trying to get that top seed in the NFC conference, and they have a legitimate chance to make the playoffs. So, yeah, I take the team with the better coaching staff, better quarterback, and also the Lions, who are the more complete team. So, give me the Lions to win, but I'll take the Bears to cover. I'm going to say, maybe it's high scoring. I don't know. I think the Bears are going to score in the 20s because they've proven that they can. So, I'm going to say, 27-23, something like that, or 23-20. Or 30-27. I don't really know the Bears are gonna. I mean, the Bears were able to keep up, but I think they can a little bit. But the Lions, if they can get up early, then like they did against the Saints, then they could definitely blow the Bears out. But I don't see it happening this game. I think it's close. I think the Lions win, but the Bears cover. Next game, we have the Indianapolis Colts versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Cincy's favored by 2.5. I mean, the line kind of changed for Indianapolis to be favored to win, but now Cincy's favored to win. Now, obviously, this game can go either way. Now, this game is actually in Cincinnati, which that can definitely be a difference in this game. Obviously, some now lots of people in the prediction video are probably going to start taking the Colts to win because, Gardner Minshew is a better quarterback than Jake Browning. I mean, I understand that Gardner Minshew has been playing really good. And Jake Browning, has been playing really good as well after that Monday night win against Jacksonville. But I feel like that one of these quarterbacks can definitely come down to earth. So, yeah. So, basically, though, I can definitely see Indianapolis win this game. But if this game is in Indy, I could definitely take the Colts. But I'm going the upset. I'm going to take Cincinnati to win this game because I feel like they probably need this win so badly to keep their playoff hopes alive. But I don't really think they're going to be able to make it without Joe Burrow because Joe Burrow is hurt. And we know the Bengals defense has been an issue, especially against the run. They've been weak, and then their pass defense has been very weak. I mean, their defense, has not been playing as good lately. They're giving them too many big plays, and all of a sudden, they're not stopping the run really good. So I think the Colts find a way to run the ball in this game. And I think they'll probably pass the ball on them. And Gardner Minshew can make some magic happen, especially against a Bengals defense that has been struggling. But I don't think the Colts are going to do enough to win because I still don't think their defense is that great. But it's been playing better. But I feel like they do get Grover Stewart back from from suspension, which that can definitely help their run defense because their run defense has not been that great, and their pass defense is not as great as it is. I think in my opinion, I think the Bengals have better receivers like Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd. I think they'll do enough. Receivers can do enough to get open and make some big plays against a weak secondary like the Colts. And I kind of really feel like that, as long as Tyler Boyd doesn't throw the ball to the other team, I think he can put the Bengals in good position to win. So, yeah, I like the Bengals here to win this game, but I'm going to take the Colts with the points. I'm going to say like 26-23, something like that. I think the Bengals win by a field goal. So, yeah, so give me the points with the Colts, but I'll take the Bengals to win the game. All right, next game we have Jacksonville Jaguars versus Cleveland Browns. The Browns are favored by -3. Obviously, this is a game right here that can definitely go either way. Now, Jacksonville was favored to win, but now the line changed saying that Cleveland's favored to win because, Trevor Lawrence is questionable to play due to an injury. So, because we know he got hurt on Monday night. I mean, if Trevor Lawrence plays, I think Jacksonville wins. But if he doesn't, I think Cleveland can definitely win because it's probably going to be backup quarterbacks playing against each other if Trevor Lawrence is not playing because I think all I heard them saying yesterday is that, it's going to be a game time decision. So, yeah, so basically we don't know if he's going to play. But obviously, I think Jacksonville, their defensively, I don't think they're as great, but they've been playing as good lately because their defense, against the Bengals, they were very weak, especially against the pass where they gave up over 300 passing yards to Jake Browning, and then offensively, they kind of stopped the run pretty good. You can argue saying that, okay, yeah, they stopped the run pretty good. But obviously, their run defense has been an issue. So basically, though, I think the Browns have a better defense. When they're at home, they play really good. But I think when they're away, I think they're kind of like a different team. Like when they played against think about it for like 2 straight weeks. Because think about it, like last week against the Rams, they definitely got shredded by Matthew Stafford, and then against the Broncos, they got shredded by the Rams, and also by Matthew Stafford, and then they got shredded by Russell Wilson in the Broncos. So and basically, and especially offensively, they couldn't really move the ball. That's why they couldn't score some points. And Joe Flacco kind of played really good against the Rams, but I don't think their offense kind of really do enough to move the ball because, their defense, gave like over 30 points. And like same thing like against Denver, their defense almost gave up 30 points. So basically though, I think this game will be close though, but I think it's gonna be a defensive game. I think Ward's expected to come back. That will be huge for their secondary. I kind of like the matchup for Cleveland here to win this game. Now I think Joe Flacco is starting this week, so I'm gonna go ahead and just take the Browns to win this game at home. Even though I think the Jags are kind of a better team of the Browns, I think Cleveland is kind of a better version of Jacksonville. I don't know. But I think Cleveland finds a way to win this game because I feel like the injury to Christian Kirk is kind of going to be it kind of could be a huge blow to their offense, so we can see more man coverage against the Browns. I think Ward and Ridley will be a good matchup if he plays. But their offensive line's been dealing with some injuries, so I don't know if they're going to do enough against the Jags pass rush because their pass rush is very good. And now we know Tyson Campbell is out due to injury, so I think we expect Amari Cooper to play, and we expect the middle of the field to be open for Cleveland. So, yeah, and I think offensively they can definitely move the ball, especially against a Jags defense that is a bit overrated. And I think the Browns kind of have a better defense. So, yeah, I'll take the Browns to win. But if Trevor Lawrence plays, I'll probably take Jacksonville with the points. But if he doesn't, I'll probably take the Browns to win the game. So that's straight up. But you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and just say Jacksonville with the points. But you know what, though? I'm just going to go ahead and just take the Jags with the points because, Jacksonville's been very competitive in every week. And all of a sudden, for 2 straight weeks, the Browns couldn't really cover because, they couldn't score a lot of points. That's pretty much why. So I'm going to take Jacksonville with the points, but I'll take the Browns to win the game. I'm going to say maybe 23 to 24, 24-23, something like that. So, yeah. I don't really know if Cleveland's going to be able to score 30 over 20 points like they did. So, yeah. I can say 17-19 or 17-16, something like that. So, yeah. I think more lower scoring. So, I'll take the Jags with the points, but the Browns to win. Next game, we have the Carolina Panthers versus the New Orleans Saints. The Saints are favored by 6. Obviously, I got the Saints to win this game. Doesn't matter who's playing quarterback, right? It's going to be Derek Carr or it's going to be Jameis Winston. So, yeah. So, basically, I got the Saints to win this game because the Saints, are at home. They're a more complete team. They kind of have better coaching and they're at home. And New Orleans kind of feel that more play for because they might have a chance to make the playoffs. And Carolina, we know they're not going to make the playoffs because they're eliminated from playoff contention. And all of a sudden, New Orleans, could definitely be fighting for that wild card spot. But I feel like same thing when I talk about the Falcons and the Buccaneers, because if the Saints win and then the Bucs win, then all these 3 teams will be 6-7, and they still be in the playoff hunt. But I feel like even if the Falcons win and the Saints win this week, I don't think it matters because Atlanta will lead that division. Even though the division NFC South is very weak, but I think the Saints find a way to win at home. And I think they have a better defense, even though it's not playing great. I think they'll do enough to confuse Bryce Young. And I feel like offensively, they have better weapons, they have a better receiving core. I expect the Saints offense to move the ball. I expect Alvin Kamara to make some catches and run some screens. I expect Jamal Williams to be more involved. And, we know the Saints are dealing with some injuries. I think, Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, those guys will be tough to cover, especially Juwan Johnson. So, yeah. So far as I know, I believe Carr might play. I don't know. I think that's up to the status, though. But I think the Panthers will cover to keep it close because I think their defense is pretty much decent, and I think they'll do enough to contain the Saints offense that has been struggling. So, yeah. But I don't think Carolina's offense is that good. But you know what? Because, both these 2 teams, they've been struggling in the red zone. So I expect it to be a low-scoring game. I'm going to say 19-16, Saints win. So I'm going to take the Saints to win, but I'm going to take the Panthers to cover. So, yeah. So I think it will be low-scoring game. It will be ugly, but I expect the Saints to win this game at home. and I'll expect Carolina to cover. Next game, we have the Houston Texans versus New York Jets. The Texans are favored by 3.5. Obviously, I got the Houston Texans to win the game here. And the reason why I got the Texans to win this game is that, I want to take the Jets so badly, but I just can't. Like, I got the Texans winning this game because the Texans, they're just a more complete team for right now. They have a better quarterback, and Zach Wilson is playing again. So yeah, the Texans have the better quarterback, better coaching staff. They're just a more complete team, and they have a much better offense. The Jets' offense stinks. Like, it stinks. The Texans' defense is pretty much an underrated unit. I think they can do enough to get after Zach Wilson in that Jets offense, especially when their offense is not good, and especially their O line is very weak. And I feel like Houston's pass rush has been pretty much underrated. I think they can find a way to get after Zach Wilson and make some big plays, take advantage. And, Texans got better receivers as well. And I feel like CJ Stroud, his ability to move the ball and be patient in the pocket, he can make some big throws, especially against a Jets defense as well. Like, it's like same thing with the Bills and the Cowboys did. Like, Dak Prescott really picked apart the Jets defense, and then Josh Allen picked apart the Jets defense. And I think CJ Stroud will do the same thing. And especially we know Derek Stingley is going to be covering Garrett Wilson all game, and the Jets may not have no one to throw to. So yeah, I don't think the Jets will cover this game because I think they did keep the game close against the Falcons because it was kind of ugly. But if the Jets defense plays really good, I think they have a chance to pull off an upset. But I think the Texans, are going to find more ways to win. I'm going to say like 24-13, something like that. So, yeah. So, I'm going to take the Texans both ways. I'm going to take the Texans to win and the Texans to cover. Next game, we have the LA Rams versus the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens are favored by 7.5. Now, I know this is a big number, but basically, I got the Ravens to win this game. I think they're gonna get revenge from 2 years ago, where the Rams, went into Baltimore and beat them. But I don't think it happens again. I think the Ravens win this game because they definitely could be fighting for that one seed, and we know the Rams. They're fighting to make the playoffs as well. The Rams are looking to keep their playoff hopes alive. And, the Rams have been playing really good as of lately, though. And especially on offense, they've been moving the ball on teams, especially defensively. Even though it's not the best, they're playing at a high level right now. And their young players are getting better. Like Colby Turner, seems like they're getting Colby Turner involved. They're getting, Colby Durant. They're getting Byron Young. They're getting these young players on defense involved. So, yeah, and especially offensively, they're really good. Puka Nacua has been he's having his best rookie season as of lately. And Cooper Kupp is a stud. They got a lot of weapons on offense that can scare you. And then, same thing with the Ravens. Zay Flowers, he's having his best rookie season. I think the Ravens, I think the Rams find a way to move the ball in this game, even though especially against a good defense like the Ravens, because we know Marlon Humphrey and Cooper Kupp's a good matchup. And then, they have the pass rush to get out their Rams offensive line because we know their offensive line isn't good, and the Ravens defense can take advantage of that. And I think Lamar can do enough, to make some magic happen and actually move the ball through the air, especially against especially against a young Rams secondary. So, yeah. And especially, I think they can find a way to run the ball in this game because we know they've been doing that against the Seahawks and Lions. But I feel like if the Ravens get up early, they can definitely blow the Rams out. Because I think, Cause I just kind of really feel like sometimes the Ravens be having blown leads, but I feel like as long as their defense can at least get a stop at the end, I think they have a chance to win. But I think they keep it close here. I'm gonna say like 24-23, something like that. But I'm probably gonna take the Ravens to win, but I'm taking the Rams with the points because we know seven's kind of a big number. I expect it to be super close. I don't expect it to be a blowout. I mean, as long as if the Rams, offensively are just struggling, I think this can definitely be a blowout. But I think the Ravens at home should be able to win this game, and on top of that, they have the better quarterback, better coach. They're at home, and I just think they're a more complete team. So I'm gonna take the Ravens to win this game, but give me the Rams to cover. Next game, we have the Minnesota Vikings versus the Las Vegas Raiders. Minnesota Vikings are favored by -3. Obviously, this game right here could definitely go either way, but I almost kind of want to go with the Raiders here at home because we know Las Vegas is kind of a weird place to play at. But obviously, I think Minnesota, finds a way to win this game here. Because I think Minnesota's just a better team. I just feel like they're kind of a better version of the Raiders. And I just kind of really feel like that, the Vikings kind of have a better defense than the Raiders because I don't think the Raiders' defense is all that great. But the Raiders offensively, they're okay, but they're not great. But when I look at the Vikings, with Brian Flores, I mean, their defensive scheme is really good. And I feel like Kevin O'Connell is going to be well rested and coming off a bye. And I feel like he's going to change some things, what he did before the bye. I think, Josh Dobbs, he's been very conservative as of lately because we know he threw them 4 interceptions against the Bears and he nearly lost them the game. So he's been struggling lately and he's not been playing good. But I think, if Josh Dobbs plays really good, I think there's a chance I think Minnesota, finds a way to get themselves in position to win. And I feel like Justin Jefferson coming off IR, coming back on the field, that will be huge for their offense. I just kind of really feel like the Raiders secondary is very suspect. And I think, with Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson, those guys are going to be tough to cover. And I just don't think the Raiders have the answers, have the corners or safety to cover those guys. I think those guys are going to get wide open, and they're in the middle of the field is going to be open for them. And I feel like with a Brian Flores defense, he's been having success against these young quarterbacks, especially again in New England. He has success against his young quarterback. And Aiden O'Connell, when I watch this kid plays, he hasn't been playing as good as lately. Like he's kind of slow, and I feel like Brian Flores is gonna send some heat. Like he's gonna send some heat with his defensive scheme he's gonna like send some blitzes. Like yeah, because I feel like the Vikings pass defense has been playing really well as of lately. But and their run defense, is all right, but it is not great. But I think the Raiders can do enough to run the ball on them as well. So yeah, I think they keep it close here, but I think the Vikings, win this game because they're a better team, better coaching. So yeah, and I think they have more to play for because they might have a chance to make the playoffs. And the Raiders, probably playing for next year because the Raiders, they're probably not going to make the playoffs this year because they might be on decline. But if they win this game, I think they keep their playoff hopes alive. So yeah, I like Minnesota to win, but I'll take the Raiders with the points. So I think the Raiders can do enough to keep it close in this game. I'm probably gonna say like 30. I'm gonna say like 30 to like 24 or something. I don't know if the Vikings are gonna score like 30 points in this game, but I think they'll probably like be in the 20s somewhere. So I'm gonna say like 23-17, something like that. So yeah, I'm gonna take the Raiders with the points, but I'll take the Vikings to win the game. All right, next game we have the Seattle Seahawks versus San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers are favored by 13, 13 and a half. Wow, that's kind of a big spread right there, a big number. But, I got the Niners to win and the Niners to cover this game. And the reason is that they're the more complete team. They kind of got better coaching. They kind of have a better quarterback. They're at home. And Brock Purdy has never lost to the Seahawks in his career. So obviously the Niners, I just think they're gonna win because I just think they have a better defense than the Seahawks because I don't think Seattle's defense it hasn't been playing as great as it is, and I just kind of really feel like Brock Purdy's gonna make some magic happen in this game. Guys are gonna start getting open down the field like Debo Samuel, George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk. And I feel like McCaffrey can have a good game here because Seattle's run defense has been very weak. I think the Niners can run the ball on them, and especially on defense, they'll find their matches against the Seahawks receivers. And then I think they'll do enough to slow down the Seahawks running game because I don't think the Seahawks have a good running game. So yeah. So I feel like if San Francisco, if they look pretty poor against Seattle, then I think Seattle might have a chance to win. But I think San Francisco wins because I just think they're just a more complete team, and they're at home. So yeah. So I'm gonna take the Niners to win this game, but I'll take them to cover as well. I don't know if the Seahawks are gonna be able to keep up with them because last time when the two teams played, Seattle was definitely not looking good as of lately, especially offensively. They were moving them because I thought last week they really moved the ball against a good Cowboys defense, but they kind of blew it because of their offense. But I think they keep it close here, so I'm gonna take the Seahawks to win. I mean, I'll take the Niners to win, but then I'll take the Niners to cover as well. So I'm gonna say like 23-16, something like that. Niners win, Niners cover. All right, next game we have the Kansas City. We got the Buffalo Bills versus the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are favored by -1. Now I call this a trap game for some reason. Now, the reason why I call this a trap game because both it can go either way, and the Chiefs might look to avoid losing two straight, and the Bills, they're trying to look to win to keep their playoff hopes alive because we know the Bill. So yeah, obviously, I think this game right here is going to be close. But obviously, I'm going to take. I know this game is in Arrowhead Stadium, but I am going to take the Bills to win this game. And the reason for that is that I just think Josh Allen is going to go off in this game. And I feel like the Bills have been playing like the better team than the Chiefs. Like the Chiefs have not been playing really good as of lately, especially on defense. Their defense were giving us so many big plays against Jordan Love because they got shredded by Jordan Love. And then, offensively, they have not been looking as good. I mean, their receiving core, is not as special, especially outside of Travis Kelce is really not good. And all of a sudden, the Bills defense, they're they've been playing really good, but it's not as great. But they lost to the Eagles because of their defense. But I think the offense played really good, and I feel like that this Joe Brady scheme for the Bills offense is starting to work. So basically, I think the Bills, especially the Chiefs' run defense has been very, very atrocious. I think the Bills might have success running the ball on them. And now the Chiefs, are going to be without their star running back, with Isaiah Pacheco, which I don't know the Chiefs are going to be able to run the ball against the Bills. Because, the Bills, because, the Chiefs may not have a running game and the Bills may not have a run game as well. But their run game is starting to improve a little bit. But I think the Bills, can like get some third downs, third and shorts, and get a couple first downs. And we know Josh Allen, what he can do with his legs, he can scramble, and we know Patrick Mahomes can do that too. I think the Bills, kind of, it's weird to say that. I think the Bills have a better receiving core because I feel like Diggs and Shakir and Gabe Davis. I mean, their receiving core is really good, and then Dawson Knox coming back from injury, that will be huge. So I don't think the Bills are going to be able to play some man coverage against Stephon Diggs because the Bills, I think with the Bills receivers can find a way to win their matchups against the Chiefs corners. And then when I look at the Bills defense, it hasn't been playing as bad as of lately. I think Russell Douglas has been very good. And then, there's two safeties with Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde. I think they'll have to find a way to double team Kelsey. Because if they don't double team Kelsey, then Kelsey's gonna start getting open. Because Kelsey, we understand Kelsey's been very good. So I just kind of really feel like the Chiefs, defense, you know, might get a little bit ran on and might get a little bit exposed because the Chiefs may not play man coverage against Diggs and those guys. And I feel like and I just kind of really feel like the Chiefs offense can do enough to like move the ball, especially against the Bills defense that have not been good. But I think this game right here is probably going to be an offensive game. I think it's probably going to be high scoring. Maybe later on it could be a defensive game. Like, who knows? But I got the Bills to win this game, but I'll take them +1 because I just feel like they have better receivers. I think Josh Allen's gonna like get the ball to his playmakers more than Patrick Mahomes because the Chiefs receivers have been very consistent, like Valdez Scanlon, Kadarius Toney, and those guys have been very inconsistent. So yeah, and Rashee Rice, we know he's having a good rookie season as well. But I just think the Bills got more receivers to work with. And especially they're coming off a bye, and I feel like they're going to be more rested. So, yeah. So, I think the Bills, win this game in a high-scoring fashion. I'm going to say like maybe 37 to 36, 37 30, 33 30, something like that. So, yeah. So, I'm going to take the Bills to win this game, but I'll take them +1 as well. Next game, we have the Denver Broncos versus the Los Angeles Chargers. The Chargers are favored by 2.5. Obviously, this is a game right here that can definitely go either way. Now, most people could definitely picking the Chargers to win. I mean, most people definitely could be picking the Broncos to win because the Broncos feel like the better team than the Chargers. Because here's the thing. Now, the Chargers were definitely kind of poor against the Patriots a little bit, and they still won the game. But I thought their defense has played outstanding, allowing no points to the Patrons. But the offense was definitely not looking as good as lately. So, yeah. So, I think the Chargers can definitely have a bounce back game. Denver, we know that I feel like their offense, they can find a way to move the ball against the Chargers defense that hasn't been really good. So, basically, though, I think, that Denver can move the ball on them. They can run the ball on the Chargers. I think they can throw the ball on the Chargers. And Russell Wilson, he can probably have success against this Chargers pass defense that hasn't been really great. Because I feel like Courtland Sutton, he's pretty much uncovered. They're getting him more involved. They're getting players more involved. So I think the Chargers, I think Denver keeps it close in this game. But since this game's in LA, I'm taking the Chargers because, the Chargers are at home. I think they have a better quarterback. They're at home. And I think Denver kind of has a better coaching staff, but I feel like the Chargers are going to win because they're at home. And I just kind of really feel like that, Brandon Stanley, he's probably going to do a good job against the Broncos offense because he's been having success against the Broncos as of lately. So, yeah. So I think the Chargers win, but I am going to take Denver with the points because I think Denver is going to keep it close. And especially their defense has been playing really good lately. So, yeah. So I think Denver's defense can definitely give the Chargers offense a lot of trouble in this game, but I don't think so. But I think the Chargers are going to get back on track this week, though. So yeah. So I'm gonna say they're gonna win like I'm gonna say like 23-20, something like that. So yeah, maybe they win by a field goal. So yeah. So I'm gonna take the Broncos with the points, but give me the Chargers to win the game. All right, next game we have the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Dallas Cowboys. The Philadelphia Eagles are favored by. I mean, Dallas Cowboys are favored by 3.5. Obviously, this is gonna be a good game to watch. Another game in the week here, similar to the Chiefs and Bills. But I got the Dallas Cowboys to win this game. And the reason why I got the Cowboys to win this game is because the Cowboys are at home and, they always play the Eagles tough. And I just kind of really feel like that, that Dallas, versus that Eagles game, last time when these two teams played, Dallas should have at least won. But I think this is the time I think Dallas wins it because they're at home. I just kind of really feel like they're playing like the better team than the Eagles. I mean, the Eagles, they have not been playing really good as of lately, especially on defense. They're not stopping the pass really good. They've been giving up too many big plays, but their run defense has been fine, but the pass defense has been an issue. And we thought the Eagles, looked at pretty poor against the Niners, where they couldn't move the ball on them, and especially defensively, they couldn't stop Deebo Samuel because Deebo Samuel was going off. So I think the Cowboys find a way to move the ball in this game against the Eagles defense. I think Dak should be able to make some big time throws and make some plays, especially against an overrated secondary like Philly. And I feel like that CeeDee Lamb, he's pretty much uncoverable. I think he could have a good game here. Brandon Cooks can too. He's been getting involved. And then Jake Ferguson's been a really good tight end. They're giving him involved too. And Michael Gallup is amazing. And then you got Tony Pollard, as a running back. I feel like he can do some things here. I feel like Dallas can move the ball in Philly. Because I feel like Philly's run defense have not been playing really good last week. I think Dallas finds a way to move the ball in this game. So, yeah. And especially, I think Dallas kind of has a better defense. And I kind of really feel like with their secondary, I think they can be sticky, especially against a good Eagles receiving core. Like, here's the thing. Maybe they find a way to at least like double team AJ Brown and maybe force Jalen Hurts to throw the ball somewhere else. I think they can do that. Maybe they double team AJ Brown. Maybe they double team Devonta Smith. I say maybe they double team AJ Brown. So double team him, and then you just force Hurts to throw the ball to other people. So yeah, that's how I think Dallas can win this game. Is that they can double team AJ Brown. So I feel like they can cover him 1-on-1. So yeah, and then their safeties can do a good job, covering Dallas Goedert. I feel like Goddard coming back will be amazing. So yeah, so I think this game right here could definitely be a high scoring game. But I expect the Cowboys to win this game at home because I just kind of feel like they kind of have a better defense than the Eagles. And the thing is that Mike McCarthy is having surgery on his appendix. That can be very challenging, and I don't know how he's going to do with his coaching with the play calls. So that can be interesting though. So that's something that to watch though. So I think Dallas finds a way to win this game, but I say Dallas covers. I'm gonna say like maybe 34 to like 31 or like 31 to 27, something like that. So yeah. So I'll take Dallas both ways. I'll take the Cowboys. I'll take Dallas to win and Dallas to cover. All right, and here's the thing. Now, most people could be definitely picking the Eagles to sweep the season series, but I don't think it's gonna happen though because we know Dallas has owned Philly for years, and I think this is the time where I think Dallas wins. So I take Dallas to win. I take Dallas to win and cover. Man, I take Dallas to win and cover. So next game we have the Tennessee Titans versus Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins are favored by 13. Obviously, this is a lot of points. This is kind of a big spread right here. But obviously, I got the Dolphins to win this game. And the reason why is that, the Dolphins, they are the better team. They're at home. They kind of have better coaching. And, you know, and that's pretty much why the Titans stink. I mean, they suck. I mean, Will Levis, we understand he's been playing really good, but I don't think he's as good as Tua. And I just kind of really feel like the Titans, offensively, I don't think they're as good, but I thought they found a way to move the ball against the Colts. So, yeah. I feel like they can definitely move the ball on the Dolphins, too, because sometimes the Dolphins' defense gets exposed. Because sometimes their defense doesn't play as good, because we can understand their defense has been playing really well as of lately. But I feel like the Titans' receiving core is kind of iffy. I don't think their receiving core is great. I think Dolphins kind of have better receivers. And I think Jalen Ramsey versus D-Hop is a good matchup. And Howard versus Burks is a good matchup. And then Javon Holland versus the tight end. That will be a good matchup, one-on-one matchup. And then their pass rush has been very good. So I think Vic Fangio can definitely have a good game plan against his Titans offense. So I just kind of really feel like that, the Titans offensive line isn't great. So I think the Dolphins defensive line can take advantage of that. And then the Titans, the thing about it that concerns me is that their defense. Now their pass rush is really good, but their pass defense is not been really good because they're giving up too many big plays. And I feel like Tyreek Hill, Jalen Wild, those guys are going to be open all day long, and which means you can't play one-on-one man coverage against those guys because those guys are going to torch you. And Titans won't have an answer for that. And I feel like Tua, his ability to move the ball, stay in the pocket, especially against a secondary for the Titans that's not really good. So I expect the Dolphins to win this game. But you know what? The 13 is tricky. But I'm just going to go ahead and just say they just covered this spread. Covered this big spread. I mean, Tennessee kind of did enough to cover. So, yeah. Miami kind of has a high-powered offense, and I don't think they can keep up as well. So, yeah, I think the Titans, especially with Jeffrey Simmons out, that's probably going to hurt. So, I feel like that can have success for Miami. So, I feel Miami can definitely have success around the ball. So, yeah. So, I expect Miami to win this game. I expect Miami to win, because I don't think the Titans will keep up. So, I'm going to say Miami wins, it's tough, but I'm going to say, 30-16. Or 26-16, something by double digits. Maybe in a semi-blowout. So, yeah. So, I'll take the Dolphins both ways. I'll take them to win and take them to cover. And then last game, we got the Green Bay Packers versus the New York Giants. Green Bay's favored by 6.5. Obviously, I got the Packers to win this game here because the Packers are at home. And, I mean, they're not at home. I got Green Bay win this game because, they're just a better team. They have better coaching. And I feel like they're more stable with the quarterback position. Because, Giants, they stink. They don't have no quarterback. Offensively, they're bad. Defensively, I don't think they're as great. I think Jordan Love, I feel like this Packers offense can definitely have success on offense, moving the ball. And especially for the past couple of weeks, the Packers have been playing really well as of lately, especially on offense. Jordan Love, he's being patient with the ball. He's making big time throws. He's not holding on the ball for so long. He's making good decisions. Guys are starting to get open. Like the receivers are stepping up, especially with Jalen Reed, Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs, and Tucker Kraft, and especially with Luke Musgrave out. I mean, the Packers' offense have definitely been playing really good. Guys been stepping up. They're running the ball really well. They're getting A.J. Dillon more involved. And then the defense, they're playing better. Like I like how the way that their defense is playing. Like especially, they been doing a good job, like stopping the run. They're stopping the pass really good. They're not giving up so many big plays. I mean, this defense has been definitely balling out, and Jordan Love's starting to ball out now. So, yeah, I feel like Green Bay should be able to win this game so that way they can keep their playoff hopes alive. Because we know Green Bay, they have a little legitimate chance to make the playoffs, and we know the Giants don't because the Giants ain't going nowhere because they have no chance to make the playoffs as well with the current quarterback situation. So, yeah. So, I got to take the Packers both ways. I got the Packers winning 24-16. So they do keep it close this game. I don't think the Giants offense will keep up because, we know they barely beat the Patriots, before the bye because, offensively they really didn't do much and they only score like one touchdown. I don't think the Giants offense will keep up in this game because I don't think their offense is good and their receiving core is weak without Darren Waller. But I feel like Saquon's a good running back. Maybe the Giants can move the ball in this game, but I don't think they will. But I think Green Bay finds a way to pull it out with the win here. But I'll take them to cover as well. Well, all right, guys. Those are all my Week 14 picks for this week. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. And don't forget, if you disagree with me, just let me know in the comments section below what you guys have, who you guys have winning Week 14. Well, by the way, this is Emmanuel Jones from The Big Fan. Thank you guys for watching. And don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel as well. So, yeah. So, like I said, this is Emmanuel Jones from Big Fan. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace.